All right, thank you so much all for joining me in this specific lecture again. And this is going to be the third lecture for today. And as I have already told you, number of lectures shall be there on the basis of the contents and the lectures to be delivered. Okay, the topics to be covered. We have already given you the schedule, and you can clearly say number of things are there. And the PDF I have sent to you, and I feel that I must teach you the concept and subject matter of everything. Otherwise, I could just deliver you the data and just could ask some brief sections, but I wish that I should teach you so that you can be able to understand each and everything properly. So I'm just going to give a brief description of what we are going to study in this specific lecture. And after that, I shall be sharing what we have prepared for you. So in this specific lecture, we shall be talking about a training. Okay, training, how the training to the employees is given, how the process of a training is followed, what are the different criterias which are important for the training, and what's the process of that, and most importantly, what are the different types of a training to be conducted for the employees of the organization. So these all the things are going to be covered in today's lecture, and it's going to be very special because trading concept is very important to be learned. Okay, a number of questions are asked from the types of training and even from the process of training. So basically in this specific lecture, we are going to cover the three questions. Okay, the first is what is training and how this is conducted, and secondly, what is the process for efficient training, and finally we shall be talking about what are the different methods. And I must tell you, there are number of bases on which the further bifurcation of a training method is done. And in this video lecture, I shall be teaching you completely what's the things are there for a training and development session. So after going through all the important terms regarding the human resources management, and training was the next one. This is why we have included this specific topic in today's lecture. So I'm just going to share the screen so that you can see what is there, and you can enjoy the lecture. And I know that you usually enjoy what I teaches you. So this is going to be the next screen in which we have written each and everything, and I shall be explaining you in a very great manner. So just see what we have prepared for you. All right, thank you so much. I have already shared the screen right now, and in this particular lecture, we are going to talk about the training and development. I shall be telling you what's the meaning of training, and after that, we shall be going through what is the process of training. So basically, three questions again are going to be answered in this specific lecture. The first is going to be what is training and what does it mean for you? And secondly, we shall be going to how this is conducted, and we shall answer this by going through what is the process of training. And after that, after going through the process of training, I shall be telling you what are different methods of training, and these are very important to go through. Only then you can expect your exam to be qualified. Okay, because I have experienced that more than 3 or 4 times in the previous examination, the question from the process and the techniques or methods of training have been asked. So you have joined in this lecture. I hope you would have understood the previous lectures as well. Now today that was the complete series of number of video lectures which we had to understand and which we had to go through. So in this lecture, we are going to talk about training. Now I'm just going to share you the slide which is going to tell you what the need of that and what the processes is there. Okay, so first, if we are talking about the concept and the meaning of training, we can just tell that training is to train. Training is to train an employee to perform specific jobs. So training is simply to train an employee to perform specific job. There are number of jobs in the organization. When you join the organization for the first time, then you may not be trained to perform that specific job. And in this way, nowadays it has been practiced that the organization give the training to their employees so that they can perform the jobs effectively and efficiently. This is known as a training, and there is a very defined steps of process of a training, and there are number of methods for a training which we are going to cover right now. So first of all, this was the man, Thayer and Maggie. They gave a model, and this model specifies the training needs. Okay, they have given the training plan and the training needs. They have told in their model that that there are training needs, and if these needs are fulfilled, only then any organization can expect to grow. Because if your employees are working well in the organization, only then you can grow. And how they shall work well? Only then they shall work well if they are trained in their respective field or area. So they have given this model which specifies the training needs, and now we are going to understand the process and steps in a systematic training plan. Now I'm going to teach you how the training is conducted. So first of all, what happens? You have to establish the training policies. You create the policies of a training. Okay, so plans are made for a training, then policies are created, complete plan is there. Okay, it includes everything like what shall be the venue of a training, what shall be the way of a training, how many employees should be there, then after that what method or a technique you shall adopt uh, to train your employees. So these are all covered under the training policies and plans. And the second one is going to be the setting of a goal and objectives of a training. You have to set your goals and you have to set your objectives. Okay, so this is the second thing. First of all, you have established the training policies, plans, rules, regulation. After that, you set their goals. In goals, you write that which jobs are covered for giving the training to the employees. Okay, what do you actually want to achieve after giving training to the employees? For which jobs you want to train them? So this is called setting up of a goal and objectives of a training. This is very important to go through. This is the second step of that. Then thirdly, you just prepare the training budget. The company has to set aside some of a budget from its annual amount. Okay, the annual capital outlay. They just have to set aside some part of the money which is to be used for training, and this is known as preparation of a training budget. So first of all, you just establish the policies, how this shall be conducted. Then you set the goals and objectives, what you really want to achieve after giving training to the desired jobs. Then you just prepare the budget. After that, you decide the actual training venue. You decide the actual physical training venue. Okay, and you go there and you check the each and every facility whether this is available there or not. In that specific step, if there is any kind of hindrances or problems to a specific venue, then this can be changed immediately. Okay, so this is fourth and most important step, which tells you that you have to physically examine and choose the training venue in which the training of the employees shall be conducted, and then deciding about the methods and the techniques to be deployed. There are a number of methods which we shall be going in this specific lecture. There are a number of methods and techniques. Okay, in this fifth step, the company has to decide which method is uh, to be adopted. Like that can be on the job training, methods, and then there can be the off the job training methods, and there can be online methods and some other methods as well. So they have to decide which method is to be adopted for training the employees. And I think this is the last one. This is a determination of method to evaluate training. Finally, the evaluation of training is done, in which it is evaluated whether the training of the employee was successful, whether they have learned some new tricks and skills, or whether this is unsuccessful and they have to make some other further plans as well. So this was all about the process of training, in which we learned, first of all, that you have to establish the policies regarding the training. Secondly, you have to set up your goals and objectives. Thirdly, you have to prepare the budget for the training. And fourthly, you have to decide the physical venue of the training. Then fifth, you have to decide which methods or techniques to be adopted. And finally, you have to evaluate your training program, whether this was successful or not. So in this lecture till now, I have taught you regarding what's the meaning of a training and how the training is conducted. Okay, how the training is conducted. Now I am going to tell you what are different methods and techniques of training the employees. So these are very important. Even the individual techniques or methods are important, and these can be asked in the examination. So these are very important to go through, and I must tell you. So just showing you what is there are training method, and before starting that, I am going to tell you that these are categorized on some important basis. Okay, so there are some bases on which the training methods can further be bifurcated. I think there are 3 or 4 bases, and these to all individual bases there are number of subdivisions on the basis of which the methods and techniques are described. So first of all, there is on the job training method. So this is base 1. This is base 1. Okay, in this base or on the job training method include the following methods. So this base 1 method includes some important training methods. So what is on the job training? First of all, if I'm giving you its introduction. So in the organization itself, while working in the organization, while actual working at your job, okay, you are given the training. Okay, so this is called on the job training. When you are actually working in the job, once in 2015, I was appointed as accountant of one of the leading private limited company which gives the coaching for IBPS. Okay, I was not expert at that time in that specific field, and they gave me training while I was on job, while I was actually performing my job. So this is called the method of on the job training. Okay, so on the job training methods can be as follow. One by one, I shall be explaining you each and every method involved in on the job training. So the first is job instruction training. That became famous at the time of World War II, and this is famously known as GIT. This is job instruction training. And what's the meaning of that? Just that while performing the job, you get instructions from your higher level authorities, or that can be anyone. That can be your manager, that can be your boss, that can be your higher level colleague, or the persons who have experience in already the field for which you are performing the job right now. So this is called job instruction training, in which you get instructed to perform special tasks or duties. And when you get these kind of instructions, then you get to know what is necessary for performing a specific job. So this is known as job instruction training, and this is the first method under on the job training methods. Okay, so now we are moving further method under the head of on the job training. This is called coaching. What is this? Like I am giving you, this is a daily training and feedback given by the immediate supervisor. There is an immediate supervisor. Suppose A is working in his area His immediate supervisor is B. He is giving training to A on daily basis. On daily basis, he just assigns some tasks, some duties to him, and he just give him the feedback whether he is performing well or not. This is called the system of coaching, in which the daily training and feedback is given by the immediate supervisor. So till now I have taught you regarding GIT, job instruction training, then coaching. The third one is mentoring. What happens here? There is a senior person involved, senior person who is having the experience of performing the job for past 10 to 15 years, and he just grooms the junior person who has just joined the job right now, and this process is known as mentoring. Okay, he just mentor the junior person. So senior person in the organization assumes the responsibility for a training as well as grooming the junior person, and this is known as the process of mentoring, and this is very important to go through. And next in this field, this is position or job rotation that we have already understood in the previous lecture. What happens here? The employees are made aware of all the different jobs in different days. Okay, so A employee is given job A on Monday, job B on Tuesday, job C on Wednesday, then job D on Thursday, and in this way his job is rotated, his position is rotated, and he can enjoy the different jobs, and these gives him this acquire him the general background regarding all the jobs being performed in the organization. So if the trainee is rotated periodically from one job to another job, then he acquires general background. He understands the larger organizational perspective and different functional areas. This is called the process of job rotation, and very important and very famous method which we have to understand and go through. Then apprenticeship is there. This is also the part of on the job training. Okay, in which this process is also known as a learning by doing. Okay, learning by doing. There are two interrelated words. These are apprenticeship, and then this is internship, that you would have been aware of this pretty much. Okay, so apprenticeship is the part of on the job training, whether the internship is the part of the job training, and when it's time come, we shall explain you this as well. So what is apprenticeship? This is used for this, that can be traced back to medieval periods, when those who wanted to learn trade skill used to bind themselves to master craftsmen and to learn by doing under the work under his guidance. What happens here? There is a manager A, okay, and there is a learner or new employee. Suppose this is named as B. So he keeps regularly himself in touch with that manager, and he regularly learns from him while actually performing his duty. His duty is to live with this manager to for whole of the time of the organization. Like 9 to 5 job is there, then he has to stay with that manager. Whatever the manager tells him regarding the specific task and duty, he has to obey each and everything. Okay, so he can actually perform his duty or not perform his duty, but he has to obey all the instruction, task and duties being told by his manager, which is known as master craftsman. So this is the system of apprenticeship, which is done on the job or on the job system of a training. And then there is a committee assignment. This is also very important thing. Okay, what is this? This is in under this method, trainees are asked to perform special assignments. Okay, a committee is formed up. Okay, and they are given some special assignment, like 5 to 6 people can be there. They are given some special assignments, and they are asked to solve actual organizational problems. So in this system, committees made for all the new employees who are going to be trained, and they are given special presentations, special assignments which are dealing with the actual organizational problem. So this is known as a committee assignment system. So I have completely taught you regarding what the on the job training methods are. These were job instruction training. After that there was coaching. After that there was mentoring, then position or job rotation. After that we did about apprenticeship, and finally we have gone through from the committee assignment. So these were the most important things we have to understand. And then there are some the second basis. This is the second basis on a basis of which we can further bifurcated the training methods or technique. So this is called off the job training methods. What happens here? The employee do not perform the actual job, okay, but he is sent to some other places by the organization so that he can train himself, or he can learn the different skills used to perform that specific job. So this is called off the job training, in which the employee is not asked to actually perform his job, but just learn the different skills required, and he is sent to some other places. So I am going to tell you what are the different methods of the job trainings which we have to understand. The first is vestibule training, very important and very famous task. This is what happens that when the actual job conditions are duplicated, like this is venue one, this is the actual organization, and the organization purchases a separate place. It buys the place and it creates a simulated or a duplicated environment which exactly relates to the actual environment of the organization, and the employees are asked to work in that simulated environment, and this is known as vestibule training. Vestibule training. Under this method, a training center called vestibule is set up, and the actual job conditions are duplicated or simulated in it. So this is the first method under the off the job training, and very famous one. The second one is classroom training. They are sent to some educational institution. The employees are sent to educational institution for taking the training, which is famously known as classroom training, and they just attend the lectures given by the teachers who teaches, and who teaches the theory as well as the practical regarding how the actual job is to be performed in the organization. So this is known as classroom training method. This is the traditional way of learning. Then there is internship method. I have already taught you apprenticeship, but this is internship method. This is the part of the job training. What happens here? This is also learning by actually doing, but this is not actually done in the job, but at off the job. The selected candidate carry their regular studies as well, but along with their regular study, they take internship in some other organizations as well. So when they take their internship, they get to know the different skills which are required to perform the actual job. So this is known as internship training, and it helps them so much while carrying on their regular studies and learning by doing as well. So this is called internship training. Then there is a conference. Conference is also the very important part. A number of times it has been experienced that MNCs conduct the conferences, in which what happens, the participants pool their ideas and experience to arrive at improved method of dealing with problems which are common. Okay, a conference is conducted, some of the externals are called upon, okay, and there is a pooling of ideas. All the trainee are made sit on the chairs, and they are asked to give their ideas so that the problems in hand can be handled effectively. They just pull up their ideas, and their after getting their ideas, the best method to perform the job is actually arrived at, and this is told to all the trainees, and they get themselves trained. So in this way, conference method is there, which helps to get the best kind of training in off the job method. Then there is a role playing system. Okay, in a simulated environment, the employees are asked to play the role of their higher personnel. Like a worker can be asked to perform the role of a foreman, then a foreman can be asked to play the role of a manager, then a manager can be asked to perform the role of a CEO. In this way, role playing system is there. Okay, role playing involves action, doing, and practice. The trainee play the role of a different position holder in the organization. So in this method, they get themselves trained in the different areas of the work level in the organization. This is called role playing. Then there are programmed instructions. So what is this? These are programmed instruction. This is a step-by-step learning process. Okay, firstly, what happens? The trainee is presented questions, facts, or problem. First of all, like I am giving, suppose I am giving you first question and I ask you to answer them and you don't know the answer, but still you give me some ideas. After taking your consent, I am just giving you the answer of that question, and after that you learn, yes, actually this problem can be handled in this way. This is called the program instruction. Okay, firstly the trainee is presented a question, then he is allowed to respond. Lastly, he is given feedback on the accuracy of his answer. So this is known as the system of a programmed instruction. So I have taught you regarding of the job training methods which are very famous nowadays. The first was vestibule training, then classroom training, then internship training, then conference system is there, role playing is there, and finally we did about programmed instruction. Now these are some contemporary burning or the famous methods which are nowadays being widely used in the MNCs or some renowned companies. These are the electronic methods of training to their employees. By electronic, you can just assume that use of internet, use of computers, use of softwares, use of different sets which are workable under the electronical conditions. So these are the use of electronic trading methods. I'm going to tell you what are the different methods under this third base. So this is audio visuals. Okay, the trainee is shown television slides, then overheads, then films, PowerPoint presentation, video conferencing, audio video tapes, etc. And in this way, while giving you all these things, he is trained for performing the specific kind of jobs in the organization. So this is known as audio as well as visual training. The second is computer based training. He is given a personal computer. Okay, each and every employee is made sit on the computer and they are trained in the skills of computers. Then in computer training, the trainee uses computer-based system to interactively increase his knowledge and skill. He is given time frame of 3 or 6 months and he is asked to train in the specialized computer skills so that he can learn how to perform the job effectively. Then this is known as, this is a famous system right now. This is software and the complete package which automates your training process. This is electronic performance support system or EPSS. These are set of a computerized tool and displays that automate your trading. It can automate your trading. It can automatically show you what is necessary on a particular day for performing a specific job. It can show you documentation. It can show you phone support. Then it can integrate this automation into application and provide support that is faster, cheaper. So basically this is complete toolkit, or this is a complete software system which helps in training the employees for their regular job in the actual environment. So this is EPSS system. This is the next one. This is distance and internet based training. This is also known as tele training or video conferencing. What happens here? Like I am giving you, you are sitting in my batch. There are students from different parts of India or different states of India. I'm we are just taking the video conferencing or a teletraining. Okay, so what happens here? This is internet based training. We use the internet widely and the different kind of accessories widely. You are sitting on a distance and you are learning from me. You are getting trained from me via internet. So this is called the system of distance and and internet based training. Video conferencing is a system in which people allows people in one location to communicate line via a combination of audio visual equipment. So this is video conferencing. And in teletraining, our training is in a central location, teaches group employees at remote locations via television. Okay, they directly delivers their lecture like you have already experienced in EduSat system, educational satellite system. At the time of your graduation or post graduation, or I think the school up to this senior secondary level, you would have experienced the kind of a tele training. So this is also the famous method in nowadays era. So the last point is, okay, so till now I have taught you everything regarding what are the different training methods, and we divided it into three main bases. The first was on the job training, second was off the job training, and finally there was electronic training method. And I told you that finally I shall teach you how you can evaluate your training program. So evaluation simply means getting in the information regarding the success of a failure or your training plan, what you have actually achieved. You have to make the analysis of that, only then you can further decide about what is to be done with your employees. So this is called evaluation of a training program. Evaluation of a training program has been rightly defined as any attempt to obtain information on effects of a training performance to assess the value of a training in the light of that information. So there has been a famous professor, A. Hamblin, who has suggested some criterias for evaluation in the training program. I think these are 5 or 6 only, and these are very easy to go through. So he has suggested some criterias how the evaluation of the training can be done. So basically, evaluation simply means knowing the success or failure of your training program so that it can further be helpful in future. So I hope in this video lecture a lot of there was to you to learn. So we did about training, its process, its method, and finally I taught you regarding how the evaluation of the training method is to be done. So after 10 minutes from now onwards, there will be next lecture, and I hope you would have understood this completely. You would have enjoyed this lecture to the best extent and the most extent. So thank you so much for joining me in this particular lecture. We shall be meeting right after 10 minutes from now onwards.